So she said in Jamaica, it is not easy to be homeless and hungry because you could easily go beg for catch at somebody's yard, meaning you could easily go ask somebody to stay in their house. And she said in Jamaica, there's more of a sense of community, especially when it comes to food. A lot of times people in Jamaica, they will cook and they'll go to their next door neighbor and be like, yo, I'm gonna cook some tin mackerel. Let me know if I'm hungry. I want some. But in America, when's the last time your neighbor came to your door saying that they cooked, here's some food? That rarely happens. And in America, a lot of us really don't know our neighbors like that. Yeah, you might see them and say hi and bye to them, but you don't really hang out with them. You don't go in their house. You don't really know them.
This video shows a very unique attribute of Jamaicans. They are very hospitable and also they have the sense of togetherness. Jamaicans like to share food with their neighbors, unlike in the United States where this rarely happens. In Jamaica, it is very common for you to be given food by a neighbor so that you will also be able to have something for yourself. But in the United States of America, it is something that is not common at all. For a neighbor to come to you and then give you something, it doesn't happen that way. But Jamaicans are very unique in the sense that they have empathy for their neighbor. They share whatever they have with their neighbor, and most especially food. This is something that I think it relates to the country of Ghana too, and mostly in rural areas. This also happens. Some communities share food a lot. Some communities really share food a lot. Unlike in the United States where everyone is for him or herself and people rarely share things like this. I think Jamaica is really doing well in that direction by sharing food. They understand the plight of each and every one, and they are able to share food with their neighbors when their neighbor is in need. I think it is all stands from the fact that I am because you are. That is Ubuntu. I am because you are. That sense of togetherness, sense of feeling empathy for your brother when he or she is in need. I think this is a very good and unique attribute of Jamaicans. Now, Africa also had this same, should I say, culture or heritage or way of life, so a culture. But I think because of modernization, things are beginning to change. Now in Africa, we were using the extended family system. Okay, so let me limit myself to my country, which is the country of Ghana. We were used to the extended family system. We did not only live with a nuclear family where you have the mother, the father, and the children alone living. Normally, you could have a whole family, grandparents, grandfather, grandmother, you have your mother, your father, you have your aunties, you have your uncle, so you have nieces and nephews, you have cousins, all of you living in one big compound house. And this brings out a sense of togetherness, a sense of unity, in the sense that whenever we cook, we share among all of us. So if this household cooks, this other household cooks, and maybe my household does not cook, both of them will share their food with me. And the same applies to when they are also not able to provide food for themselves that particular day. And I get food, I also share with them. I think this is a very good attribute that Jamaica is still holding on to, and that I believe Africa used to have and Ghana used to have, and even now it is still in the country of Ghana. If you go to rural areas, I believe this culture is still there because I have lived in the rural area before, and also I have lived in the urban area before, so I know how it works. In the urban areas, they are mimicking the Western world. They are mimicking the Western world. So we are living in nuclear families, apartments, and those kind of things. So you hardly even see a neighbor, you hardly even talk to a neighbor, or even play with a neighbor if you are children. But in rural areas, it is very common for families to meet together, share what they have together, and also for the children to play together. So this is something that I believe it is very good as a culture that Jamaica is still holding on to, and I really like that about Jamaica. I think with both the nuclear family system and then the extended family system, it has its own pros and cons. But in the situation of sharing, I think it is very good if you have an extended family where other people can support you when you are in need. So that is something good that I believe that Jamaicans are doing. Also, Jamaica is really connected to nature. Jamaica is really connected to nature. They do not joke at all with their landscape, with their water body, like the rivers, the lagoons, the lake, and what have you. They really protect them very well. I have seen some videos of YouTubers who have visited Jamaica, and if you look at the rivers there, the sea, the ocean, and all the water bodies over there, they are very clear, very, very clear. And that shows you that they really adore nature, they really respect nature, and in a way of protecting nature, I believe nature is also blessing them in the sense that over there in Jamaica, it is difficult for you to see people who are homeless. Homeless people is not so common for you to see, unlike the West, let's say United States of America, where you could see homeless people on the streets all the time. But in places like Jamaica, it is difficult for you to find anyone who is homeless. I think nature is having its own way of blessing these people for the good hearts and the things that they are exhibiting towards nature. When you protect nature, it will in a way protect you too. Their river bodies are very clear. The landscape is so nice, and their islands very nice. If you see videos of it in YouTube, some YouTubers platform, it's very nice. They are really protecting nature, and I believe nature is also protecting them. You wouldn't see homeless people, as I have already said, in Jamaica, unlike the West, that you will see a lot of homeless people. Let me even relate this to my country, Ghana. Now, if you visit the urban cities, Accra, those big cities, you see a lot of homeless people, even during the daytime, and in the night time, you see homeless people all around. But if you go to the rural areas, you see the city is mimicking the life of the West. That is people from the United States and all those kind of countries. They are practicing the nuclear family system. So when you come to the urban areas, families are mostly nuclear families. But if you come to the rural areas, that is mostly the extended family, you wouldn't see homeless people. Places that I have lived that are rural areas, it is very difficult for you to see a homeless person. Even people who are mentally challenged all have homes. People who are mentally challenged, they all have places to live. So Jamaica is blessed by nature. Jamaica is blessed by nature. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, just locate the subscribe button down there. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you in the next video.